Welcome to Homemade Christmas. I'm Tamara Schubert, your Family and Consumer Science Agent for NMSU's Cooperative Extension Service here in Chaves County. We have been talking all month about homemade Christmas decor and gifts that hopefully save you a little bit on your budget. The average person spends about $1,000 on Christmas, so hopefully this will make your budget go a little further. Today is week 4, and we have a cutie for you today. So you will need a couple of things. You will need a brown towel, a jingle bell, some felt or foam in brown. You will need some googly eyes, a red pom-pom, and some rubber bands. And we're gonna dive right in. Pause the video as you need to. If you need to catch up or hold on or wait, just pause and catch up to us. But it is definitely a fun one today. So I grabbed an old, well, it's not really old, but it is a brown towel from the house. And we are going to mark our center, and we are going to roll long ways, all the way up to our center. So you can use a pin, you can use some chalk, whatever you may need so that you can mark the center of the towel. And then we're just going to start rolling. So easiest way to do it is to bend it over about an inch. You do need to kind of have enough workspace to get a towel down. But bend it over about an inch and just keep rolling to the center. There's not a certain number of rolls that you need. It just till you get to the center. The hard part is going to be keeping your edges straight. So as you roll, you may need to just kind of, until you get it started, kind of work from the outside in. It doesn't have to be tight. It just has to roll towards the center. And as y'all can see, as I got my outside started, my inside was much easier. So we're going to do that same thing on this side. We're going to fold it about an inch. And then we are going to roll it all the way till they meet up in the center. Again, it doesn't have to be a certain tension. Just roll until you get to the center and make sure your edges are straight. All right, so we have it. We have 2 rolls. We are going to need our rubber bands. So first off, we are going to rubber band one end, just so that it stays rolled and it doesn't move on us. So I'm going to move over. You can see I rubber band it right where that little edging is on the towel. So I rubber band it so it stays still. We're going to take that other end. We're going to fold it over. We're going to put a rubber band on that one as well because I think it's easier to work with. But we're going to fold it till we get about 8 inches from the end. So here to here should be about 8 inches. And I see a tag sticking out and I'm going to stick it right back in. So 8 inches. So these are going to be the front of our little reindeer. So we want to push that crease in just a little bit so it forms our legs. Remember, this was the rolled side. We want to push them in just a little bit so it forms our legs. And I want it to stay there. So I'm going to use a little bit of hot glue. And I'm going to stick it right in between so that it stays there so it makes that cute little hoof. We're making a reindeer today. So I'm going to hold that just a little bit, make sure it dries. Our next step is going to be some ribbon. So we're going to need some ribbon, and we're going to tie a bow with this ribbon. So I'm going to start with a little bit of ribbon, and we're going to go in between here. We're going to tie them around our front legs, right over, and I'm going to estimate, guys, depending on how you tie your bows, you're probably going to want about 36 inches of ribbon. Now I moved my rubber band down so that it holds that hot glue, but I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my bow before I cut my ribbon off so that I can see really how much I want in my bow. Oh, he's cute. Okay, alrighty. And we're going to tie our edges off. Go ahead and cut them off. I do like to cut my ribbon at a diagonal. And then if you want them to stay in place a little bit, you can put some more glue down. I'm going to glue him to the edges down here. And I'm going to cut my rubber band off later once it's all stayed. But this is also where your jingle bell comes in. So I have a pretty big jingle bell today. You can use whatever size you want. Mine's going to be kind of jiggly. I might have wanted to wait it until we get this done at the end. But I'm going to have him sit right in the little crook of this bow here. So these are the front legs of our little reindeer. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this rubber band off since I don't need him anymore. My front legs are tied all together. And you don't have to cut them. You can pull them off if you want to. You can leave them on and stick them under the ribbon if you want to as well. But you can tell we have our little legs started. Here's our front legs, here's our back legs. And then we're gonna work on the head. We are gonna need our last rubber band for this one. And this one's gonna be a little bit more difficult, but we're going to fold that head over. So you can see I'm about an inch and a half above where that ribbon is. And I'm just going to stick a rubber band all the way around him so that he holds while I do the rest of this stuff. You can come in between and we're going to unroll him in just a little bit once we get him nice and held together. We do need some ribbon. This ribbon's going to go all the way around and it's going to make that nose band of our reindeer. So I'm going to cut me off some because it's easier to work with. And we do want this part of the ribbon nice and snug so that it holds all the thickness together. You can tell that up towards the top of his head, he does get pretty thick. So we're going to help it hold, I'm going to put a little bit of glue down on the towel just so I can get this nice and tight. And then I'm going to pull from my other side. And I'm going to glue right on top of that ribbon. And you are going to have to hold it so it sets for a little bit so that it sticks while we do the rest of this. This is going to be the back of our reindeer. So he is dried. We're going to go ahead and clip this pretty close to the edge. I do have some leftover ribbon, so if you want to do that before you cut, that's fine too. But here's the start of our reindeers. We have our back feet, we have our front feet, and we have our nose. So I'm going to glue the bottom part of his legs a little bit so that they stay and I can pull that rubber band off. He looks so cute already. So if you want little jingle bells on your halter, you can put little jingle bells on your halter if you would like to. I didn't have any at the house today, so I did not use them. Okay, so we have our legs done. We're gonna go with our nose. So our nose is gonna go below the ribbon, kind of right in the middle. And you can still see, we're gonna stretch this out a little bit. You can see where the crease is on the inside, so you know where center is. And we're going to put a pretty good dab of glue there because I do have some sparkly in my pom-pom. And sometimes those are just harder to stay on. And the next is going to be our googly eyes. So depending on what kind of character you want your Rudolph to have, you can pick what size of eyes you want. I happen to have a 1-inch eye today. And they are going to go above that red ribbon. One on each side. And I need just a little bit more glue. So I love these big, long glue sticks because I don't have to replace them near as often. Oh, he looks so cute already. And we're almost done. So I'm going to turn him up so you can see him. So here's his nose and his eyeballs. If you want those small jingle bells, they'll go right here on his nose band. But we have a couple of things left, so we need some antlers and some ears. So I'm going to show you this part of him real quick. And I'm going to work on unrolling his nose just a little bit so that he can look like he has a little bit wider mouth than his head. But I cut some antlers out, and you can use foam, you can use felt, you can use whatever. If you want a little bit of thickness or stiffness to them, you can put some straws right up the center of them. It works really good. And then you're gonna need some ears. So we're gonna go right in this fold right here for his ears. And we're gonna get some glue in there. And I think that's where I'm gonna put my antlers on him too. So I'm gonna go in here with his glue. And I'm gonna go ahead and do his antlers at the same time. And then I'm gonna kind of tack his antlers to the side of the head too, so that mine stays stiff. I did not put a straw in these. The longest part about any project is waiting for that hot glue to dry, right? But these are cute if you want to just set them around for decoration. I'll post a picture here in just a little bit at the end. They're cute if you want to put them over a towel rack. If you have a red towel or you decorate your bathrooms for Christmas, they'll hang right over those towel racks and give you a little bit of Christmas in the bathroom. Or in the kitchen if you've got kitchen racks or oven racks and you want to put Rudolph up there too. So we're going to do his other side. Right in that same groove. If you've got some greenery or a floral pick or something that you want to do that has Christmas on, you can put it right in the middle of his antlers. You can attach his antlers to it if you put it in the middle of his head. It's kind of depending on whatever you want on hand and whatever you want on your reindeer. So I didn't have one on hand, so I did not use one today. Let me give this glue just a little bit more time to dry. And I will turn him around so that you can see the full, oh, he is cute. Okay, so here is my reindeer. If you want to use glitter foam or something on his antlers, you are welcome to. You can always use smaller jingle bells if you do too. Remember, the great thing about homemade is you get to make it you and whatever you like to do. Thank you for joining this Christmas and Homemade Christmas. We will see you next month with a new program. Have a good day.